you're seeing the really, really shy cat now, guys. He's like, I don't want to be held up like this anymore, but I like the light. Well, hey there, reader friends. I'm Erica, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing my October 2017 wrap-up and my November TBR. Because, as you will see, my October wrap-up is pretty short. So let's go ahead and review. I read a grand total of 3 books in October. I know, impressive, right? Actually, in the grand scheme of things, considering what was going on in my life in October, I'm pretty impressed that I finished 3 books. I switched from being a part-time employee to a full-time employee, and I had a pretty difficult mental health month. So the first book I finished in October, I actually started in September, but I was only about maybe a third or halfway through by the end of the month, so I decided to put it on my October wrap-up, and that is Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance. This is a memoir book, and I gave it 4 stars. I debated for a long time about whether I wanted to give this book 4 stars or 3 stars. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I can't even actually remember what I gave it on Goodreads. I think I gave it 4 stars. That's what I'm going to declare, and if I need to change my Goodreads, I'll do that. Overall, I really enjoyed the book. I thought J.D. Vance's writing style was engaging and interesting, and his life was interesting. Also heartbreaking. But that was kind of what the book was about. I mean, when your culture's in crisis, it's probably not going to be sunshine and daisies where you're coming from. I didn't give it 5 stars for one main reason, and that was although I appreciated that J.D. Vance didn't get overtly political in his story, I felt like we needed some political discussion in this story. I wanted to know a bit more about why he thought people voted ways they did in his area, and if he thought there could be any solutions for his, hometown. But since he spent so long discussing his childhood and how much it meant to him, it just kind of fell flat that he didn't seem to be invested in helping revitalize the place he came from. The second book I finished in October was my Throwback Thursday pick, which was Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. I thought for sure this was going to be a 5-star read, but, with age comes wisdom and perspective and being woke, and therefore racism was more apparent to me in this book that I must have completely missed when I read it as a child, which isn't surprising. I mean, I'm a product of my environment. I have white privilege coming out my ears. If you want more of my thoughts about this book, feel free to check out my Throwback Thursday video, and I'll make sure to leave a link to that video down below. The final book I finished for October was Slasher Girls and Monster Boys, edited by April Genevieve Tuchok. I gave this 3 stars, and there's one reason why, and that is because it felt so long. It took me forever to finish, and usually with anthologies of short stories, I read them very, very quickly. And I think part of the reason why it felt so long was that all of the stories, at least many of the stories, were really actually pretty long themselves. Many of them were over 20 pages. I felt like it could have been organized a bit better, and Tuchok could have picked a few shorter short stories to kind of break up the length. The stories themselves were very enjoyable. Most of them I really liked. Some of them were not my cup of tea. Some of them really disturbed me and gave me nightmares, which is exactly what I wanted from it, so yay. But yeah, the pacing of the book and the fact that it felt so long and the organization felt kind of clunky, that's why it's 3 stars. Okay, we're moving on to the second part of the video, guys. We're going to talk about the books I'm going to read for November. This is a very, 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 very incomplete TBR because I'm going to be participating in Contemporary-a-thon, which is in November, the 13th to the 18th, I think. It's being put on by Julie over at Pages and Pens and Chelsea over at Chelsea Darling Reads. I'll leave a link to some of their videos talking about it down below. I'm really excited for this readathon, but because of that, I'm going to keep my other part of November's TBR pretty short. I have 2 graphic novels I want to read. The first is Pashmina by Nidhi Chanini? I need to look up how to say the name. Pashmina is of Indian heritage, and I'm hoping to discuss that a little bit. I read the first couple of pages, and I was laughing already, so I'm pretty excited. The second graphic novel I'm gonna read came across my desk at work, and I was like, I didn't even know this was happening, and I fangirled out beyond belief, because Victoria Jamieson came out with a new book, guys! If you don't know, she wrote Roller Girl, which is one of my favorite graphic novels of all time, and so I'm so excited. This one is called All's Fair in middle school, and I don't know anything. I mean, Renaissance fair? Drama, maybe? Maybe Shakespeare? Something like that? I don't know, but I am beyond excited. I know it's gonna be great. If it's not great, I'm just gonna have to stop having hope when my favorite authors publish new books, I guess. The next book I'm going to read is actually a book I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. I started this for Victober, a moment of silence for all of my Victober ambitions, guys. They just weren't realized. I've been enjoying this book so much. I am in love with the main character, who I'm now brain farting and forgetting her name. Is it Margaret? I feel like it's Margaret. Hang on a second. I gotta figure out. Margaret. Totally her name's Margaret. Okay. So yeah, I am really excited to finish this book. I'm enjoying it so much. It's nice to get back into that classic Victorian vibe of literature. Like I said, I picked it for Victober. It was recommended to me. I'm enjoying it. I'll let you know how I feel when I finish. The next book I'm going to read during October is a book that a book club that I'm involved with is going to be reading, and that is Wonder by R.J. Palazzo. Once again, I don't know how to say names, and I've not known how to say his name for several months. I need to look into this. It's about Augie? That's not helpful. That just has a list of all the actors in the movie on the back. That's not Augie. Yeah. It's about Augie, who is going to go to public school, but he has a facial deformity. I can't remember. Does it say what it is here? I don't think it does. It just says facial difference. I like that. I think that's how I'm going to refer to it from now on. He has a facial difference. I'm so excited to read it. I hope it's really good, and it's middle grade, so it'll probably go pretty fast. Yep. So I have been challenged in figuring out what I want to read for Throwback Thursday this month. Nothing's been speaking to me. I've asked friends. Donald, did you pick your Throwback Thursday? What are you doing? Did you come to a conclusion? I hope it was Cinder. I want to see what you think about that. Let me know. I was looking through my shelves and looking through the books I want to read, especially the books I want to be sure that I finish before the new year. And one of the books I really want to finish is part of a series. And I realized that I don't remember the book before at all. Like, I remember the main points, but I don't remember all the details. I don't remember all the characters. I don't remember. So that determined what I'm going to read for Throwback Thursday. And I'm pretty happy about it. I'm going to be rereading A Court of Mist and Fury, guys. This is ambitious. But since I read it in 2 days the first time that I read it, I'm pretty sure I can handle it. I think part of the reason I don't remember it, actually, is because I read it so fast the first time. I just read it, and everything fell out my ears, except for all the Reese amazingness. This will be my Throwback Thursday pick. I'm gonna set a goal for myself of keeping the vlog under 15 minutes because I don't want to have a really long vlog for this book. A, because I don't want to spoil it to pieces, but also because my internet's not the best and that would take like 3 hours to upload and I just don't have time for that. So stay posted, guys. Check out my Throwback Thursday video. It's supposed to come out on the 3rd Thursday of the month, but the way my life has been going, it'll probably come out around that time. So there you have it. A very small wrap-up for October, and an incomplete TBR for November. I'm really excited to read these books. I spent a lot of time this past week really curating what I want to read and making sure that they're books that I'm actually really motivated to finish, because I feel like sometimes on BookTube I fall into the, oh, that book looks really interesting, everyone's reading it, I need to read it. And while that's not a bad thing, I don't think it's going to be helpful for me to get back into my reading habits after having such a slow month. So I'm very excited about this TBR. I'm very excited. Thanks for watching, guys. What are you reading for November? What readathons are you participating in? There are tons of them. I had to limit myself. Make sure to let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Cat hair. Cat hair. Look at his